voice, tremulous, strangled, or weak voice. And it sometimes usually associated with other symptoms like a cough, like difficulty breathing or swallowing, a sore throat, or fever. The causes, like almost everything, can be congenital or past. And sometimes for ease of classification and more like managing, we can also divide it into pediatric and adults. Because we get some sex causes in more in the pediatric year group and others in the adult year group. So congenital ones, most of the time we find the pediatric year group. And one of the common presentations is the laryngeal web. This is an incomplete, more or less, development of the larynx. In laryngeal embryology, when it's formed, all of this is sealed up. And then, as the child, by 12 weeks of gestation, it opens up. So if it doesn't open up at all, then we have laryngeal atresia. But if it opens up, this like in this picture, then you have, at least this is the airway, but then they will present at birth with some hoarseness. Depending on the extent of how much of it is squared, then you interplay between the airway and the voice. So the more obstruction, the more occlusion, you have airway issues, less and almost pneumonia, and then if you have more airway, you have a much better voice. So that is laryngeal web. And then laryngeal cyst, so you can see the cyst. This is an adult larynx. I didn't get the pediatric picture. Now that's a cyst in the larynx. And anything that we have said, anything that is on the larynx will cause hoarseness of voice. So the presence of the cyst can cause hoarseness. This cyst is pre-op, so that's the endotracheal tube. And that will, depending on how much it is obstructing the airway, you have airway issue, difficulty in breathing, and definitely there will be some hoarseness. So they may and usually present with hoarseness of voice, and depending on the size of the cyst, is associated difficulty in breathing or not. So for us, most of the time, what will either bring the patient to hospital is that the hoarseness, the difficulty in breathing, and ask the clinicians in your interrogation, identifying the hoarseness will lead you to making most of the diagnosis. So the second commonest congenital anomaly you find in children, laryngeal anomaly, is vocal cord paralysis, which usually can be unilateral or bilateral. And the causes of the bilateral ones usually are central. And they are as a consequence of things like the anal chiari malformation, which leads to hydrocephalus. And this hydrocephalus will press on all those nuclei of the vagus nerve, leading to bilateral paralysis of the vocal cord. And management is basically having to identify it. If you identify it early, and then we will do a tracheostomy obviously to relieve the airway obstruction. But then if you deal with the primary problem, a lot of the time they recover. The unilateral ones, most of the time, they are from problems in delivery. Let's say you have a shoulder dystocia and you stretch, some of them get born with this F4C. So once the recurrent laryngeal nerve gets under some form of tension, they get weak, and then they will cause some weakness in the vocal cords. Most of them recover. And then also forceps deliveries, or in some of the children, if they have these cardiac anomalies like the patent ductus atherosclerosis, or those cardiac anomalies where the vessels are dilated, or all those pathologies, Fallot and the rest, then they can affect especially the left recurrent laryngeal nerve, which is related to the heart, the great vessels, and cause the unilateral vocal cord paralysis. So here is a normal vocal cord. At inspiration, both of them open symmetrically. When you phonate, they come together in the midline. Unilateral, you see this one is not opening well, and this has opened. And most of them, it stays about the same place while this one recovers when you phonate. But in reality, over time, this one will still can compensate, so it can go all the way and close the airway during phonation. So over time, they may not have any significant hoarseness of voice. It's only in the bilateral vocal cord pauses where sometimes they can have significant hoarseness of voice. But even then, their main problem will be airway because during respiration there's very little airway. So also in vocal cord paralysis, there's an interplay between hoarseness and difficulty breathing. If it's bilateral and in the midline, or we call it paramedian position, then they are likely to have a good voice because the cords are already opposed. But then their airway will be bad. And then if they are bilateral and they are opening up like this, then their voice will be bad. And their airway will be good. But because the cords don't come together, you have they can be a phonic or have we call it weak voice. And the other consequences of bilateral, that is arch trachea paralysis, so it's opening up, it can't come together, is aspiration. So they aspirate most of the time, they end up with aspiration, pneumonitis, and the like. So in vocal cord paralysis, they can be hoarse, or they may not be hoarse, but they can still have the paralysis. Other pediatric causes can be infective. These are more like the acquired pediatric causes. So yesterday we talked about epiglottitis, so that's a swollen epiglottis, and it's diagnostic on the lateral soft tissue of the neck, which will show what you call the thumb sign. So you see epiglottis swollen as if a thumb which is taken out. Laryngotracheal bronchitis is another infective process, which is usually the consequences of viral infections. And unlike epiglottitis, which is bacterial and an acute onset, the LTB usually is of an insidious onset. So the child will be like unwell, usually symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection over a period of time, then gradually starts having airway issues over a day or two. Then they will come in with difficulty breathing, a hoarse voice. Your examination is likely to elicit, your history will elicit the having been unwell for a while with the progressive airway compromise. And it's mainly viral, so treatment is supportive, humidified air, steroids, just to overcome the period. What happens is edema at the level of the vocal cords, where you see what we call the steeple sign, narrowing of the airway around the level of the vocal cords, and that is diagnostic. So it's supportive treatment, and most people do well. Rarely do we have to intubate them or put in a tracheostomy tube. But for epiglottitis, most of the time, they may need some airway support at least over 24-48 hours. So we talked about the inflammatory causes. Then we have neuropathic causes of hoarseness of voice in children. The commonest and the most frequent we see in our environment is laryngeal papilloma. So these are all those papillomatous outgrowths on the vocal cord. This on the right cord, also on the right cord. This just above the left cord. So there are HPV infections of the larynx, HPV 6 and 11, and they are usually in, basically sex gender ratio is about 1:1, but it's more leaning towards the male, and it's usually found in young boys to very young mothers, primates, and it's thought to be a consequences of mothers having all these genital warts, and during the birth process, vertical transmission, during the birth process, because that the first children, the process is a little long. They get infected in the birth canal and manifest. The youngest I've seen was 9 months old and had been in the emergency room for a few days being managed as asthma. But what gave away the diagnosis was when we tried to make the child cry. And when he cried, we realized it was very hoarse. So then we just said, this child must be having papillomata. We went to scope, and yes, he had papillomata. And it's a recurrent disease, so what we do is they will come when they have issues. And they come, and this is a surgery that the papillomata obstructing the airway, and tube is down there, and this after removal of the papillomata, that's the airway down there. So the concern with them is it has a huge economic burden on the parents. There's one young lady, well, girl about 5 years, lives around Eshi, and at least this year she was coming like almost every 3 weeks to have them removed, and even any time she take some of the cost, they still end up paying close to 500. So if every 3 weeks we have to pay 500, I'm pretty sure some of us, if not all of us here, will still have issues with paying 500 every 3 weeks in hospital. And this is a young mother. Most of the time they have social issues. And like we said, the mother is almost always a very young person who gives birth early, and then a lot of what we are seeing even with us is that most of the people who come with the children are the grandmothers, because either the father has abandoned the child or the mother is still in school. So we get these instances which makes managing this condition quite challenging. So I insist and tell our pediatricians to talk to their patients. I realize pediatricians talk to the mothers and the fathers more than they talk to their children. And this diagnosis, you can only elicit it when you talk to the child. So talk to your children. At least what I do is I'll engage the child in a little small conversation before we start consulting. So just as part of the process of getting the child to relax in the consulting room, and then take it from there. So management is by dial-laparoscopy and removal, and then if there's airway obstruction, we always have tracheostomy at the back of our mind because sometimes in this case, for example, we are worried we may not be able to intubate, but fortunately our anesthetists help us in difficult situations sometimes to just round the tube down for us to be able to do that. Well, usually around 2 years, but like I'm saying, the youngest I have seen was 9 months old. So either with this pathology, it's very difficult to even prognosticate, because earlier we thought when they reach puberty, it improves. But we are seeing now that it doesn't really matter. So here, for example, we have a juvenile onset, which is what we have with the children, an adult onset. The adult onset ones are a little mild, though they still come periodically to have it removed. And they also present with hospitals. But with the juvenile onset, especially the type 11 papillomata, the type 8BV type 11, they usually are more aggressive, so they come more frequently for removal. Yes, sir. Now we think with the administration of these Gardasil, all these HPV vaccinations, it will prevent it. But some centers are vaccinating even the boys who come in with it. Yes, but the one who did after vaccination, they look at the titers of the antibodies. They thought that improved, but some too said it didn't really change their frequency. So it's neither here nor there. And some people are, because of this, are advocating for the vaccination of boys also, so that boys will not infect girls. Now this one, basically we are doing this to prevent what? Girls from having cervical cancer. But then the boys also have the disease anyway. And this is one condition which their influence may be important. So I am of the school of thought that we should vaccinate both boys and girls. And then this guy in I think Batos is also I see on Google group promoting active vaccination of everybody, and it's good. So we are considering. We have to get through the public health challenge of having permission to more or less vaccinate our patients who come to us. That we are putting together literature so that we have enough evidence to do that. There's also Avastin, one of these new medications they use malignancies. Also, what is what do you call it? It's against this being what do you call it? It's against angiogenesis. So we are hope some have tried it on these patients, and though it doesn't let it disappear, it increases the interval between removal. So, for example, this young girl who was coming, actually, I'm not senior for some time now, but she was coming like almost every 3 weeks. So, if we give it to her, she comes in every month. 1 month is too short. Every 2 months, 3 months, and please. Anybody who comes 4 times a year is too often. So, there was one boy who came like 12 or 13 times in a particular year. And because the grandmother got tired, he ended up with a tracheostomy. If you come early, we take it out to go. So you have a tracheostomy, but they use their voice. When the voice is getting worse, then they will come. But the determining factor is whether you have money or not. And there's some who come, and because you know they will come back, it's more like credit. So he goes, when he comes for review, he brings a little. But I'm sure the hospital will not be happy with that. But what can you do? There has to be some social, human face you're managing the patient. One thing we are considering is also maybe we can make it free treatment for the children. But we have to be able to pay. The sex has to be paid for, so we have to look for the money to do that. So adult causes also can fall under the same headline: inflammatory, direct trauma, infections, laryngeal reflux, vocal abuse, plastic, which could be dysplasias, benign or malignant conditions. A lot of all these irritants we encounter, smoke, fumes, dust, they excite reaction in the upper airway, and if there's any irritation or inflammation in the larynx, that will lead to hoarseness of voice. So we are seeing here an acutely inflamed vocal cord. Yes, sir.
I saw vocal abuse as one of the causes.
Yes.
Please throw more light on that.
Yes, we will come to that. Yes. So this is, so yesterday what we talked about laryngitis, upper respiratory tract infection. If it goes down, you get this inflamed larynx, which consequently will lead to hoarseness of voice, and then subsequently will present. Because it's a viral infection, we think it will resolve. But what happens is that this is an injured larynx. So if the person uses the voice now, it will traumatize the vocal cords further, and they end up with chronic laryngitis. And we'll talk about some of the consequences of it in the next slide. So when they come like this, apart from all the things we want to do for them, you have to, you can see there are thick secretions here. So the person needs to be hydrated well. So a lot of fluids, a lot of steam inhalation. Because once the cords are dry, they will rub against each other, and it's really painful. So a lot of hydration, a lot of voice rest, and then steam inhalation, a lot of labral fluids, voice rest, while doing the inflammatory phase. We give about 2 weeks of voice rest, but you just have to tailor it to your needs. But if the person's job is the voice, then the 2 weeks is mandatory. But if you can keep, and what is the voice rest? Yes, I don't think any of us will be able to keep by. Yeah, but one of our colleagues had surgery on the voice. We operated on him, and he is the only one who surprised everybody. He says, hey, your doctor friend, he is obeying. He kept quiet for 2 weeks. But, so we as much as it's difficult, we ask you to the essentials. So if we need something, don't go to discuss man you and or group like that. No, yeah, give me water, do this for me, and don't whisper. Whispering is more strain on the voice, just like shouting. So just a normal voice, just right. So the next one is, we call it bronchitis edema, and it is inflammation of the vocal cords, which leads to more like an edematous reaction on the vocal cords. So it's also treated similarly. If it doesn't work, then we have to strip the vocal cord of the submucosal edema, and then they recover. Right, so vocal abuse. Now, this is what we call the singers note. So if you abuse your voice, shouting over a long period of time, even talking in the presence of an inflamed vocal cord, then you develop these nodules at the junction of the anterior third and the posterior two-third, and they are almost always bilateral. So this is the consequences of vocal abuse. So when this occurs, then they become hoarse, permanently hoarse. So the person is always hoarse. We call it just unremitting hoarseness of voice. So we'll talk about evaluating them. And then the treatment for this is initially speech therapy. So So they undergo 6 weeks of speech therapy. If it's getting better, they continue. And then we'll look again into the larynx. If it's not getting better, then it's surgery. But here, because it's bilateral, and surgery, you deal with one, and then 6 weeks later, the person will come back, and then you deal with the other one. If you do both surgeries at the same time, what happens is that you create 2 raw areas, and they just fuse. Yes, so you get a web. So you come with one and get another pathology. Yes. So so the opportunity is that you have to do you have to be operated twice. But the other good news is that if you do your speech therapy well, and more or less what you are supposed to do is just, we call it voice hygiene. So what we talk, a lot of fluids, lubricating your airways, so in steam inhalation, and then using your voice sparingly. A lot of people don't talk right. Really, some people strain to talk. Say they get using the neck muscles inappropriately in talking. So all those things, the speech therapist will direct you on what to do, how to vocalize appropriately, and the commonest thing that causes voice abuse sometimes is talking in a loud and a noisy environment. And we are even seeing that a bit with people putting earpieces in their ear. Because it's loud in their ear, they shout. And they are unaware. But then, all those things build up over time to cause the problems we are describing. Vocal cord cyst, that's the left cord, the right cord, you see this cystic swelling. It's usually also a consequence of speaking or talking when you have an injured vocal cord. So you catch a cold like here in this instance where the cord is inflamed and you talk, you can have micro bleed into the cord and then becomes sequestered and then you form a cyst. And this is what my colleague friend came with. And it's a simple procedure where you excise it, and then once you excise it heals nicely and your voice is back. But you have to allow during the time when it is like inflamed after the operation, you have to be like quiet, and that is where in 2 weeks you get quiet. Even the wife was calling me to say, what did you do to your brother? Anyway, that is it for us. Oh, okay. Right, so neoplasia. This is what we are afraid of. Yes, so this is C of the larynx and the left cord, and this is a surgical specimen. This is on the right cord. So the risk factors are tobacco and alcohol, and they are more in the middle-aged people. We are seeing it now in younger people because when you smoked 20 years ago, it's going to be coming when you are 40. So, but we also see we have a 88-year-old man waiting to be operated upon with the CLR. It presents here as also unremitting hoarseness, but then it becomes there's progressive difficulty in breathing. And a lot of people, one unfortunate situation I had, and the person is in here in Accra, was treated for 6 months as asthma when he was hoarse and was getting fibulous. So they were only referred to us when he has stridor, and that was already like advanced disease. It becomes early disease, like this on the vocal cord, this in the ventricle, this is the piriform fossa, this is the anterior commissure. So this one, for example, all you have to do is just excise this cord, and that's all your cure. Easy. But at this level, I may have to do a hemi-laryngectomy, take out all the half of the larynx, which is the bigger surgery. And obviously, this is after the whole larynx has been taken out. Really. So, the earlier we come, the better. And the only thing that will point to the pathology is the patient will be hoarse. So a patient comes who is hoarse. Cut off is, if you have a cold, we all get a cold, maximum 2 weeks you should go away. So you can't have a cold for more than 2 weeks. If it's more than 2 weeks, just get the person's larynx looked at. And when that is looked at, then there's nothing to worry about. End of story. If there's a T1 lesion, even if you don't want surgery, because maybe the consequences will be a little, obviously after a scar, the voice will not be the same, busy. But then they can still have radiotherapy, and it's a small field, so it's less, what do you call it, less morbidity from the radiotherapy, and you get a cure, and you get a very good voice. So we are asking for early diagnosis of laryngeal cancer. Yesterday I went back to the hospital, and there's this 20-something-year-old girl. She has tumor in the post-sacral region, and it's been going on for 8 months, and she's been going to a lot of places. Obviously, when it goes to traditional, to us, and he's not getting results, then they'll go to the local. And now when she started having difficulty feeding, that is when she's come. She's hectic and wasted. Or if she came against premoposal tumors are not the best, but if they come early, you can do something for them. But if you come late, then we just have to watch you and pretend we are doing too much, but in essence, we are not doing enough. So the message is catch them early, and it's just being hoarse is all you pass. So you see somebody hoarse, let's assume you say it is from salt growth. So the voice rest, hydration, a lot of steam inhalation. See the patient in 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, or if you don't want to do 3 weeks. At 3 weeks, if it comes and it's still hoarse, there's no business waiting. And none of this is antibiotic issue, because most of it is viral. If you take out the viral ones, the rest are issues that have to be dealt with. So just push the patient on, and we hope there will be things like vocal courses, vocal cord nodules, and those ones are straightforward things that can be dealt with comfortably. Obviously, the right age, so you have to. We'll talk about the evaluation, and then. And they will take your history and the rest, and you will be able to tell what happened. So these are other causes which, when it comes to us, we try to identify. So the muscular and psychiatric conditions can also manifest with multiple sclerosis, muscle tension dysphonia. It's such a annoying pathology. They talk, when they start to talk, as if their vocal cords goes into some thickening, and then they speak with they strain to talk, and such a high-pitched voice in males, and such an uncomfortable thing to have. The treatment is basically injecting the recurrent laryngeal nerve with Botox. Because you can't do anything, you just have to paralyze the nerve. And then they get some respite until the Botox wears off, and then you have to come for another injection. Now, senior graduates, obviously, when the muscles are going away, they also Parkinson's, and obviously we have people who also psychologically will feel hoarseness of voice. Then all these systemic diseases also can manifest sometimes with hoarseness of voice. So hoarseness is not a diagnosis, but a symptom. And after your evaluation, after evaluation, you end up saying the person has dysphonia. Then your evaluation will go ahead. So what do we do? The bottom line is we don't want to miss the cancer. So our evaluation will include all the general things we do. You elicit if the person had been a supporter yesterday. And who won yesterday? Tottenham. Yes. So when I asked if you were a Ajax supporter, then you'll be screaming and shouting at the players. I heard somebody was saying that Barcelona should sack all the defenders. So if you exclude those things, or somebody who went for all night and Friday and comes to you Monday with hoarseness of voice, and those ones you can understand and let them rest their voice. But antecedent respiratory tract infection, we know they can leave. And then, but if you have the person uses tobacco and alcohol, you already have to be thinking towards malignancies. Reflux disease is a common cause of hoarseness, especially if the person wakes up in the morning hoarse. Previously, he went to sleep, he wasn't hoarse, wakes up in the morning hoarse. And your history goes along the line that, or maybe during the night they wake up as if they are choking. It's likely the reflux at that instant irritating the cords. So if you manage the reflux most of the time, it helps if they elevate the head end of the bed so that at least if it's going to reflux, it takes a little more effort to reflux than lying flat. So all those things you can do, and then always review the patient maximum 3 weeks. If it persists at 3 weeks, then we have no business waiting. We have to look at the vocal cords. So what's coming to us, what we do, they will do the routine examination, but our examination will be incomplete without looking at the vocal cords. And the methods of looking at the vocal cords, either indirect laryngoscopy, a radiant telescope, a flexible nasal endoscope, or direct laryngoscopy and GA. So this is indirect laryngoscopy. So that's the mirror with our light, and then the surgeon will be looking at the mirror, which more or less will be showing the vocal cords. And the next picture is the direct laryngoscopy. So this is the endotracheal tube in place. This is a direct laryngoscope. So that's the tube. And then this is a support. That's what we call suspension laryngoscopy. So this is the setup for direct laryngoscopy. And in the same way we used to treat vocal cord disease. So we put the patient in this position, and then whatever tool you want to use, either you use your forceps or laser, whatever, to do whatever procedure. So for the cyst, you have your microscope, and then you work with your either laser or laryngeal forceps to excise the cyst. Now this is the flexible nasal endoscopy, where you have a fiber optic scope. This is before we got the camera system. So now, because of the camera system, everybody will see it on the monitor, and you can convince your patients and you take more money. Because this is your problem. And some of them will take the picture on their phone, and if you ask them to pay 200 this guy, he says, yeah. But if you do it this way, doctor is saying that one is difficult to convince your patient. Good. So this is what the normal vocal cord looks like, and that's the end of our discussion. Any questions?
Is there any such thing as like a genetic kind of like a bone?
Genetic hoarseness. No, hoarseness is more like a qualitative thing. So it's that quality of the voice. So if genetically, if we are going to go to genetics, then the person has to have something that will change the quality of the voice. And save for congenital anomalies. And I mentioned this spastic dysphonia. But all those, some of them, there is some element of neural compromise. Maybe it has some genetic thing, but I'm not too sure. I've not read anybody finding. Yeah. The only other thing, maybe if you have genetic conditions which will cause edema of the vocal cord, then obviously that will also manifest as hoarseness. Yes, for tumors on the true cord, they rarely present with a node. But tumors of the piriform fossa, supraglottis, postgraduate space, you see, they show the node here. They may present with a node even before the tumor becomes evident. So that is why we always insist that any node in the neck, you have to evaluate the airway to make sure there is no lesion before, if you have to biopsy the node. Yes. Especially the adult onset papillomatosis. Though recently I was looking at some literature which said a young person he's had a papilloma for a long time, and at around that about 30 something, they noticed that transformed into a malignancy, and this was in the lungs. So I'm not too sure if I know. Like for this condition, we use a lot of topical things, and people start with antivirals and not works. What works sometimes is an antiviral called hydrophobia, which we're injecting on after you remove it, then inject the corpse. It can delay the recurrence, but it also has its malignant side effect. Then mitomycin was used. They used interferon alpha. What else have they used? It says retinoids help with it. So we're giving them all those cabbages and all those other things. But all of them, we see So the bottom line is you go, remove, and hope that this boy I said we diagnosed at 9 months. It became a lot around the time he was 4 years thereabouts. So we put in a tracheostomy tube. By 6 years, it has stopped. And his tracheostomy tube is out. And for some time, I've not seen him, which means he's fine. Because if he wasn't, he would have come around. Yeah. No, we have those, what do you call it? When you get adolescent, the voice break, all those things. Yeah. But me and you are boys we are using now. I'm a little husky now because I got to go. Yeah. But if your regular voice changes, if the quality of the voice changes, looking raspy, more or less I can say I'm hoarse now because I'm a little husky. Then or strain, or breathing, any change in your voice from what you are used to, it's counted as hoarseness. But then we expect it to go away. So if it's not going away, then we have to get for it. Yeah. There are other changes like when there's an oropharyngeal lesion, they get what we call a hot potato voice, which is just like you put a hot food in your mouth and you are talking. Then that one still there'll be a change in voice and it has an association. Or if your nose is blocked, we say oh, one and then maybe tells you there's something going on in your esophagus or in the nose itself. Yes, sir. Yes. That is, you know, some people, when you get to puberty, you're supposed to break. And some don't get that happening. There's nothing really wrong with it, except the social concern. I was treating somebody recently, and like he's a chorister, and he sings like it's not soprano, but it's like alto, really. And usually altos are not that. So more or less, he thought it was uncomfortable there, but he didn't really mind. We can do something about this. We call it, we do the chiroplasty. You just you change the length of the vocal cord. And they actively do it in those places where people, all those transgenders and the like, he wants to be a woman, so he has a little voice, and he has to go for length and short end of the cord. He has to suit the gender he or she chooses. But these ones, if they are concerned, you can do something about them. Speech, we sometimes use speech, because sometimes the way they carry they project their voice. So speech can help them project the voice better to look more masculine. But it's like, and some of them over time it goes away in. Okay. Okay. In our classification of the causes of autism, there are some which are acute and chronic. with the acute so that it just gives you an idea there's an immediate, let's say, injury to the vocal cord. After RTA, the person comes to his house, so you know something happened to the vocal cord. And like you are saying, this gentleman is hoarse for 7 years, so he has a chronic hoarseness of voice. But having said that, it depends on what his vocal cord looks like. Assuming he had a C of the larynx, and we took away half the larynx, he will not have his vocal cord, he will have a scar. Really, meaning the quality of his voice will be worse than he had previously. And that obviously then is for life. So that would be his voice. Yes. We can do tricks, but obviously your tricks cannot sometimes get to normal. So he may be having an issue with his vocal cord, which for all intents and purposes is going to be permanent.